What's up, YouTube? We're back. Let's talk about The Valley, Season 3, Episode 15. This episode was actually good. I was surprised. It started off a little slow, but then the turn up at the end at the little birthday dinner with Lala, Danny, and Nia. It was good. It made the episode flow really good, and the ending made up for it. So let's chit chat. I got my little drink. I'm dressed because I think I might go out. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, first things first. Let's do this. So I think after this episode, we finally are getting out of Mexico. It seems like they've been there 40 days and 40 nights. I done lost count of how many episodes they have been there. So I'm happy for them to return back to the valley. I want to know why Brittany was sitting up in the bed, drunk or not, eating pizza when she just got her surgery done. And I think I touched on that in either my last recap or the one before when I said Brittany is always just looking for a quick fix. There's not an actual lifestyle change being attached to the way she claims she wants her body to look, because there's absolutely no way in hell you should be eating pizza when you're still wearing a faja or whatever on your stomach and you're barely healed. Like, I don't think she's even drinking on the trip because she's still not cleared, if I'm not mistaken. So you're staying at this nice, I'm assuming 5-star resort, and your thought is to still eat bullshit. Why are we doing that? She'll be one of those ones that either she's just gonna get back big again or be back on the table, because there's no effort. But hey, her money, her choice. So this boat party, this Miami Vice themed boat party, Jesse was the only one that was in theme, and I'm just trying to figure out how the birthday boy Danny, how are you not even in theme? You got on a shirt that looks like it could be from JCPenney, Kohl's. I think it was like baby blue with white palm trees on it, if I'm not mistaken, and some regular shorts. And this was your idea, and you're talking about everybody else being on theme or even knowing what Miami Vice is. And y'all should be ashamed of yourself with that too, because I didn't watch. That wasn't a older show that I'm familiar with, but I know what it is. And everybody has a smartphone, so a quick Google search would have shown you how to dress. I don't like when there are themes for parties and people don't come on theme. Pet peeve. Tom, why were you there? If you got so messed up the night before, why would you go and get on a boat? I mean, he kind of tried to rally towards the end, but he mostly spent the whole boat ride laying on the floor, nursing his hangover. You could have just stayed in the room and see you at dinner like some of the other girls did. That was stupid. You would have never caught me on no boat if I'm that messed up from the day before. All that rocking and shaking and stuff, absolutely not. Janet, so she finally, which I actually didn't think we were going to get. I thought maybe at the reunion, but she finally shared her story of SA with Lala, which after the last episode, we all read between the lines and could figure out what she was alluding to. I wrote that for those who don't know, when things happen, it's fight, flight, fawn, freeze. And so it makes sense as to why she's obviously reacting to this Danny situation like she did, because according to her own story, it seems like she froze and she was confused as to maybe it was like too much happening at once, and it clearly affected her really bad, which is actually sad. So I mean, to a person with sense, her reaction was warranted towards Danny. And I forgot about the part that she mentioned with him walking in on her in the pantry, which also makes sense. That would be a triggering sensation to her body because of past incidents. So she's, for me, I'm done with the Janet pile on and everybody trying to make her the scapegoat of this whole situation. She's not to blame. He was 1,000% wrong, and really, I really hope at the reunion that they all give her an apology, and that they should be ashamed on how they've been treating her, because as we will discuss when we get to the end to this, the birthday dinner, he still ain't learned his lesson. I'll say that. He still ain't learned his lesson. And so, I really hope that they own up to how they've been treating her the past 2 seasons at this reunion, because Miss Bailey from Summer House, she didn't get her apology that I thought she deserved from Amanda and Ben, but hopefully Janet gets hers. So now, Jesse, Michelle, and Lacey. So I said that I wonder when exactly Jesse started changing towards Michelle, because for her to be on this whole, when you're affectionate with Lacey, it makes me feel a way because I asked you to be that way towards me in our marriage and you didn't. I'm like, I see both sides. On one hand, I'm like, okay, so you married him. So was that something that he was doing and then he stopped? Because obviously that would make sense. Y'all were falling out of love. So, of course, with the new woman, he's going to show up and show out and do what he needs to do to court her and then ultimately date her. And I also see Jesse's side where he's like, okay, but you brought Aaron here and paraded him around with no problem. We didn't have any type of discussion to my feelings of seeing you guys canoodling or whatever. So why do I have to change up what I'm doing because now you're sitting in your feelings and your relationship didn't work out, and so you want to kind of use that? So I see both sides. If I was Jesse, I ain't gonna lie, I also wouldn't care. I'll just be like, if it's a group setting where you can remove yourself, walk away, turn your back, go do something else, then you might want to do that, sweets, because I'm with my woman and I'm not going to be scanning the room every time to figure out where's Michelle so we don't hurt her little feelings. And I like you, Michelle. That's no shade. But that's what happens when you share a friend group with your significant other, which is why you shouldn't mix and mingle your people that closely. Let your man have his friends and you have your friends. And when y'all come around each other's groups, then y'all just be cool. But that way, in case it's time to separate, y'all don't have to see each other and be around each other no more, especially when y'all bringing new people into the mix. But this is TV. We know what it is. Lacey is funny. She be saying some funny little stuff in her little confessionals. and I said that she has more emotional maturity than 75% of the cast. She's very aware of people's feelings, and she be checking the hell out of Jesse. So she already gets points for me, from me for that. Jesse was messy, for telling Kristen what Luke told him in confidence, because that's supposed to be your homeboy. He was venting. Obviously, she would have seen it on now while we're all watching it. She would have seen it playback or whatever. And again, it's TV, so we know how it goes. You got to move story along. You got to bring up certain conversations. Kristen, for me, is the Lindsay of her cast. To me, they have a lot of similarities with not only how they move within their friend group, but just their temperaments and their relationship styles. So if you watch Summer House, then you might agree, you might not. I said that he knew that Luke was just angry at the moment. He's having a hard time. He's venting. They're new parents. They're trying to figure out how does that work, on top of how do we keep our relationship thriving and healthy outside of being parents. How do we get back to Luke and Kristen? I hope they are in couples therapy. I think Kristen mentioned that she's in therapy solo. I hope that Luke is also in therapy, and then they should be going together because they clearly need it. This first year is whooping their ass. So, okay. We can go to the last scene, which was the dinner on the beach, because everything else was just kind of filler convo. And this was where we all came with the smoke. I said that Michelle is the best dressed. I think her orange little outfit was super cute, very on theme for the beachy vibes. And I think Lala was second best. Everybody else, this cast needs some styling help. The girls don't be coming with their outfits looking like nothing. And they're all pretty. And so I don't understand the choices that are made a lot of the times. Especially, I know you can't compare them to Housewives, because Housewives is its own thing. But they don't be looking put together. And I don't like that, because y'all make enough money to get y'all a little help when y'all are going on these trips and doing these dinners and things. So hopefully in the coming seasons they'll start to fix that, but we shall see. But for now, Michelle and Lala are the two best dressed. I don't know what Janet was wearing. That silver two-piece thing, terrible. Nia always looks bad. Hopefully now that she's done having kids, which please be done, do not have any more, and she starts to get her body back, then maybe we'll see her do more with her style. Because I mean, when you've been pregnant for like 5 years straight, how can you wear anything other than those prairie dresses? Because I'm sure that's the most comfortable to move around in. So I want to see what is her style now that she's done popping babies out. Danny, so he wants to blame everybody but himself for his actions. This is not a drinking issue. Him and Nia like to deflect and always bring up how the rest of the cast drinks and what everybody drinks, and everybody has their moments or drinks too much or gets blackout drunk, whatever the case. And that may be true, and that's their choice. But everybody doesn't put their hands on other people while they're drunk. And I'm not understanding why it's constant circles around that fact. The fact of the matter is, he touched someone without their consent because he was pissy drunk. And he continues to get pissy drunk instead of saying, you know what, that was a low moment. And maybe I need to reevaluate how hard I go when I go outside. And then it's not even just that. I forgot who said it in the episode. It might, who said it? I don't remember. But it's not even just that. You also talk to your wife crazy when you get drunk. You talk to other people crazy when you get drunk. Your mouth is reckless. Your attitude is nasty. So it's like, yeah, we're coming at you because I think Michelle said, you know, yeah, Jesse does blah, 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 but Jesse is the same sober and drunk. You, Jekyll and Hyde. It's a complete when you start getting drinks in your system, you turn into an asshole. And that's the issue. I said Janet, you know, she may have been messy by obviously texting Brittany and the rest of the girls what was being said at the table when everybody was talking, but she didn't lie. And everybody plays telephone within this group. So for them trying to jump on Janet to be like, oh, she was just trying to start a mess, she was trying to put us against each other and have us get into it, y'all all do that same thing. And they were gonna see it anyway. So it's like y'all can't keep trying to make Janet the bad guy, because now I'm finna be team Janet. I'm finna be riding with her because y'all look crazy. You said exactly what she said that you did, and it was exactly how you said it. But instead of being honest and owning up to that, you get to the beach and it's like, oh, she trying to put sauce on it. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't say it like that, but you did. So Brittany better acknowledge that when they get to reunion, because yeah, Kristen threw y'all under the bus saying, oh, you know who else needs to stop drinking? This one and this one and this one. Yeah, you said it like that. So I just need people to put their big girl panties on. And if you're going to say something, when somebody brings it up that you said it, back it up. That's why I don't care what I say. Because if you come to me and say, Maya, did you say da 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 da? I'm going to say, yeah, I did. And so now what? Like, what about it? Yeah, if I said it, that means I didn't care that it got back to you. And I think that's how everybody should be, because then you don't have to keep up with any type of lie or whatever. You don't have to be worried because you said what you said and you meant it. I don't know why Jesse was going so hard against Lala for Danny. Yes, I do, because bros before hoes. They always gonna stick up for their pals, whether they're wrong or not. You saw even Schwartz was trying to dip in when Danny started going crazy and Lala was going crazy, and Nia sent his ass packing. Y'all want to speak up for him and coddle him and baby him, and he don't need nobody doing that. He already got Nia being his damn guard dog. So Nia, when the episode before, when they went out for Zach and Nia was telling him not to dance, he wanted to keep bringing that up, like, oh, well, everybody says that I'm gonna be making them uncomfortable if I dance. And so you take that up with your wife, because literally nobody else in the group said that. Your wife did that. She put that battery in your back to tell you to cool it and not to do too much. Everybody else just told you stop touching on people. Full stop. So I hope they address that at the reunion as well. Like, Nia, why were you doing all this thing about him not dancing And so he's conflating the two issues, acting like people are still saying that any little thing he does while he's drunk is making people uncomfortable. No, we're still just talking about the overarching issue of your nasty attitude, how you talk to people when you're drunk, you lying about drinking and sneaking drinks, and keeping your hands to yourself. That's it, that's all. So to me, Lala was saying what the majority of us are thinking, and Danny going crazy was just proving everybody's point. I think that him and Nia's masks are slipping. I think that Danny is embarrassing. You see how she kept trying to get him to go to the room, and he's bucking up on her. He's still trying to go to the bar, like, oh, let me get another drink. He don't give a damn. I think their masks are slipping. I think they keep trying to self-produce. They keep trying to present a certain way because of their religion or whatever, or they just want to be seen as the sweet little golden couple, and it's not working anymore. We see the real deal, and I think that's why she started crashing out, because she can't handle it. And then here comes Kristen babying her instead of telling her the truth. Janet didn't put no spell on anybody. This is what's right and this is what's wrong. And Danny's wrong. And I feel like Nia's gonna have a lot to answer to come reunion time, because girl, we seen how he was talking to you. So, and again, the fact that he had to issue a Instagram apology behind it, yeah, he knows too that we got that ass. So what do y'all have to say for all of this now? And I hope it's, yeah, I stopped drinking for a while. I took a break, because that's what Danny needs to be doing. I need all the men to stop acting like they can't understand the principle of everything and the bigger picture. Because if we can see it as viewers, I know y'all can see it, and y'all are filming this show and around each other on a consistent basis. So for me, all Janet had to say on that beach was, listen, one in four women are SA. Count all the women here. That's it. That should tell you everything you need to know about what I stand for and why I'm going hard behind this situation. Like, and why I'm not going to let it go, and why I'm not going to apologize. She better not apologize to Danny for nothing. Nothing. I will let him be mad forever. I don't care. Don't talk to me. Don't like me. Sit in the scene with me and cut me dirty looks. Oh, well. So, yeah. That's that. I don't know how many episodes we still got left. I'm interested to see, obviously they're about to go back home, how they're gonna wrap up the season. I don't even really remember how they wrapped up last season. And I want to know also how much, I'm finna be shady, how much Melissa gets paid for being on this show, because I feel like Benji has said more in his time on this season than she has in the past 2 seasons. Like, oh yeah, because we're gonna see the wedding and stuff. That's probably how it's gonna end. I forgot about that. So obviously we'll get more of her during that. But it's like, girl, we on episode, what did I say, 15, and I feel like she said 15 words max. So I want that job. Let me start dating somebody on reality TV, and all I gotta do is show up and smile and eat. How much do that pay? That's what I need to know. But yeah, so this episode was really good. Lala ate. Danny is a loser and a weirdo. And yeah, I'll be back with my In the City review. So those are my opinions. Like, comment, subscribe, leave me your opinions down below, and I'll see y'all for the next review. Bye.